What's up, everybody? Well, yesterday was the 4th of July, our 250th birthday for America. And as you can see in the background here behind me, I got a little festive. I've got 10 flags on the north side, and I've got 3 here closer to the front of the house by the driveway. Right here. But there's one thing that stood out over everything. Now, with all these projects, there's one project that overtook them all, and that's this one here. This project is not Photoshop, it's not AI, and trust me, I've been accused of the last couple of days of it being such. It is a 33 foot by 20 foot ish American flag painted on my lawn. Today I'm going to go over the steps that I took to get it done, how it got done, the tools that were needed, the products that were used, and some of the steps I took to protect the lawn from being damaged. Let's go. Okay, like any good story, let's start at the beginning. We purchased this house in October of 2016. This picture is from June of 2017 and shows the house the day that we installed the sod. Fast forward a few years, and with many mowings later, as I would do my north to south cuts, I would notice these stripes that would begin to form. But most importantly would be the stripes that I would see from this angle. And when you look at it, I could tell that it looked like a US flag. And when I backed up and counted how many stripes there were from the sidewalk to the walkway for the house, it counted 13 stripes in total. And when I saw this, I knew one day this project was going to come to pass. All right, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. In July of 2025, there was a video or a short put out by the Lawn Dad where he went through and did this process to his yard. And it really gave me a lot of inspiration to move forward. Now moving into 2026 and being prepared for America 250, the question came is, would I be able to afford to do this because of the amount of paint that I would need? And I looked at the video from the Lawn Dad and saw that he was using Sherwin-Williams turf marking paint. And when I went to the Sherwin-Williams store here locally, they quoted me $225
Damn!
per 5-gallon pail, and at minimum I would need at least 3 of those.
Damn!
And I knew then that there was just no way that that was going to work for the amount of space I needed to paint.
I have failed you, Anakin. I have failed you.
And with all this, I just thought that there was just no hope that this was going to work.
Rebellions are built on hope.
2 hours later.
After I'd left Sherwin-Williams, I received a phone call from the Valspar rep that I'd met earlier a couple of years ago. And I asked him, do you have field marking paint? He said, yes, we do. You can get it at Lowe's. And the price was $75 for the clear base that you need to tint with the colors, and $60 for a 5-gallon bucket of the white paint. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, the 2 buckets that need to be tinted, red and blue, they charge $75 for delivery because they can only be bought online.
Because it's all part of the plan.
Now, a few days before the actual project was to take place, I wanted to verify and make sure that all my measurements were going to be correct. So I started out by measuring the length and then measuring the width. Now, the width got me squared up from the sidewalk up to the walkway into the house. The only issue is that this then affected the actual length and proportions equal to a normal flag on the lengthwise of the flag, and actually I was a little bit shorter than I should be. But I'm the type that likes nice square right angles. I want right angles everywhere, not round.
what you're doing, please. Stop it. Stop what you're doing. I'm Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Building Inspector. Everybody stop what you're doing. I'd like to speak with you. You guys stop working, please. Stop it. Get the plan. Stop working.
Whoa, wait a second. This is wrong. What? These are wrong.
What do you mean?
These are the wrong plans.
Why?
These are the old plans.
Old?
These are the old plans.
What are you talking
Weren't you at the meeting?
No.
With the Andersons before they went up to Hawaii?
No.
There's not supposed to be any right angles on this building.
Wait.
You, stop working.
Stop working.
You guys have destroyed.
To get our lines nice and straight and everything equal, I purchased 2 rolls of masonry string. This allowed me to keep everything nice and tight and to get all of my measurements spot on. I purchased 75 of these nail stakes to be able to tack the string down to and be able to snap the lines to their precise measurements to see if everything would fit. Overall, this was really effective and did a great job at helping me get everything lined out. Overall, I was really happy with what the results turned out to be, but in the end, I had to pull it all back down to really actually start over again in a couple of days, but it was well worth it. Now, in regards to tools, this measuring wheel is very helpful, but not necessarily required. They can be fairly inexpensive at Harbor Freight or extremely expensive elsewhere. Also, a measuring tape is going to be required, and you can find any of those from $4 to $28. And when it comes to a paint sprayer, the cheapest I could find was at Home Depot for $102 for the entire day, and that's definitely going to be needed and well worth it. In getting the turf prepped to be painted, I cut the entire front yard down to just under an inch, probably more like 7/8 of an inch. Looking back, I wished I'd gone just a little bit lower, like 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit lower, between 1/2 and 3/4 of that inch. It would have been well worth it down the road. Next step of securing the masking paper, we purchased this Scotch rough surface masking tape. This stuff worked fantastic. I was really nervous that the masking tape of any sort was not going to adhere on such a porous surface and adhere well, and this stuff did fantastic. Now the masking paper, that was super cheap. You're talking $5 for an entire roll, and it did very, very well. To tack the paper down, we use 3-inch Scotch blue masking tape. It did a great job all the way around, both on the side nearest the turf and along the sidewalk. The next thing, just a repeat of what I'd done a couple days prior, with outlining the outside perimeter of the flag in preparation of putting down the white base coat for all the white for the stripes, and underneath where we're going to paint the red stripes and the blue Union box, or Canton as it's called. When it comes to actually renting a paint sprayer, I already owned one from previous projects, and as far as mixing the paint, you could use a stick to do this instead of a drill, but usually it just got mixed up just moments before you start your project anyway, so no worries.
I'm staying
inside the lines.
You could tell that I was going to need a lot more white paint because this was just not going to cut it. So we purchased 2 more 5-gallon buckets to be able to get the job done. And overall we put on 4 coats. Now the next step after getting all the markings set for the stripes and the union box was to paint the red stripes. And I will tell you this, my hat is off to the lawn dad. He used everything freehand and just went and used the string as his guide. I, on the other hand, was not nearly as good, and I had to use and buy a couple more rolls of the blue Scotch marking tape to be able to get straighter lines by masking off and getting straighter, crisper edges. I also got very, very close to running out of red paint, so I had to purchase another bucket, and this one had to be delivered. So it was another bucket of red and a $75 delivery fee for anything that needed to be tinted. Now, I've been asked, how long did it take for those coats to dry? And each coat usually took about 30 to 40 minutes to dry because overall, it was fairly warm in the mid-90s. And it took us a total of 12 hours to get this completely done from start to finish. And with that sweltering heat, it was taking long enough that sometimes it might make you just a little bit crazy. Now people have asked, Ryan, where did you get all the items of your measurements? And I will say, I used ChatGPT and this is the renderings that it gave me. But I will also tell you that those renderings were completely off and I had to make small adjustments clear across the board to make sure that everything fit and squared out. So, what's the lesson here? Don't rely on technology to get everything done. Sometimes you just got to use simple math. And speaking of simple math, one of my sons said that he could get me a template for a star. And that's just what he did. He used simple math to be able to get that template cut out. And the trick of it all is to just make sure that you line up the top of the star and then the first horizontal of the star that goes across on the grid, and then everything just alternates one row to the next. It was really actually fairly simple once all the measurements were correct. Now I just want to give a quick thank you to all those that helped, all those that supported, my boys, my wife, everyone, and especially the gentleman that took all the drone footage. I don't have a drone, but the gentleman who also has a YouTube channel called Clear Image Solutions, took the time to get this drone footage. But the main reason I love to do this is that I have a great love in the things that I believe, and also my family and in my country. And I love my country, and I love the fact there's not a day that doesn't go by that I'm thankful for what I'm able to do in this life and able to do for my family. And all that comes because somebody else sacrificed their life to give me the freedom, and those of us that live here in this country the ability to do that. And I'm grateful every single day. It's not just the 4th of July. Every day is the 4th of July for me. Hey, thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for any notifications on any future videos being posted. Also, like, share with your friends, and please comment down below. It really helps. And we'll see you in the next one.